What's going on, YouTube? This is Shok, and I'm not going to say this is going to be a quick video because you guys know I always say that, and it ends up not being quick. I'm trying to make it as quick as possible, but just 2 days later, the point I was making in my last video was proven by Nintendo themselves. And I can't remember which video it was, but it shouldn't be hard to find. But you know, a recent video I did, you know, I was talking about like how you can dislike me, that's fine or whatever. But what I don't understand is how some of you act like I just make no sense, right? Like, even if it's an opinionated video, you know exactly what I am saying. It is agreeable. I have supporting evidence, right? I have supporting points to make alongside that opinion. Even when it is an opinion, most of the time I'm speaking facts, right? But you guys just swear to God, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what's best, so on and so forth. But yet, here we are. The Wii U failed, didn't it? Tragically. Would it have done better if it included some of the things I criticized Nintendo for excluding from the system? Yeah. But all those years you guys telling me to shut up, stop bitching, and Nintendo never really made the changes that I criticized them for, and the Wii U was their biggest dud ever outside the freaking Virtual Boy. Crazy. I think it's only got, what, 15 million sold? But anyways, moving on to the actual video. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this whole Prime 4 situation, right? Because Reggie came out and actually confirmed the reason why they showed this game early on is literally because of the fan outcry. I got it pulled up right here. And it's funny because this first paragraph right here, he proves one of the supporting points I was making along with that video, that you know, Nintendo usually will reveal something only when it's ready to show, right? Only when it's when they at least have the game in a showable form. Most of the time they like to even do playable, but the point I made in the video was like, it at least has to be showable, right? They're gonna be showing the game at E3. And so right here, Reggie says, you know, for us, we believe that having a hands-on opportunity married to an announcement is really the best way to do it. Also, let's take Super Mario Odyssey for example. We could have announced it months ago, but we weren't ready yet. The team wasn't ready to show it, and I don't know why that comma is there, to show it and let the consumer really understand visually how the hat mechanic works, how the capture mechanic comes into play, and so that's how we think these through. Moving on, for certain games that will be in development for, let's say, a decent amount of time, and I'm going to talk about that later, what he means by decent amount of time, because we can actually gauge how long this game has been in development, like Metroid Prime 4. Also, get this, given that it's a franchise that we know people have been very eager to get some news, that's when, fine, we'll share it. We'll share it early. Others we want to hold closer in and reveal it when the gameplay is going to be available. It literally is game by game, title by title, how we make that decision, so on and so forth, right? So that pretty much supports everything I was saying in my last video, and that's what I mean, right? I could come out with these criticisms and stuff, and like, see guys, look, we us the gamers, you know, we have the power, we have the power to change these companies to get what we want, to get what we need from them. But I just, you know, all I get is stop bitching, you're such a whiner, you're such a complainer, so on and so forth. You guys act like I don't make sense. Like the criticisms are not legitimate, right? But Reggie proved exactly what the hell I just said 2 days ago in my very last video. You don't even have to watch the last video, just go read the title, and I'm sure you can understand the point of that video. I was basically saying we got 2 Metroid games announced in the same day, not even the same year, but the same day, which is crazy because Metroid is one of Nintendo's more recently neglected franchises. So the fact that out of the blue, since 2010, we get 2 Metroid games announced in the same day, that is because of the fan outcry. Not to mention, Federation Force just released last year, and we're getting another 3DS Metroid the very next year? Metroid? No, that is not a coincidence. That is because of us, the fans. That is because of Metroid fans' vocalization. That's because, excuse me, That's because we told Nintendo we want Metroid and we want the real Metroid. That's why we're getting these games in such rapid pace and so soon. Now I know what some of you are going to say, oh Shokio, that Reggie article you just read, that's talking about the announcements only. Now while yes, this article is talking about the nature of how they announced it early, you know, I can still prove that the game's development actually still started a lot sooner than later. Right, because this game has not been in development for very long. And like I said, the whole point I made in the last video, right? 2 Metroid games announced at the same time, no way in hell. That just happens by coincidence. No way in hell that happens because Nintendo just wanted to do that because, oh, they just love Metroid and all of a sudden they care about it. No, they don't all of a sudden care about Metroid like that. They're making Metroid because the fans care about Metroid. That's why they're making them. But let's go back to 2015. Because as of E3 2015, that was exactly 2 years ago, June 2015, we know that Prime 4 wasn't even near being in development. Tanabe, who is he directed Primes 1 through 3, and he's also directing Prime 4, he didn't even have a team as of E3 2015. This game did not start development. And I can prove it right here. So in this paragraph, he's talking about how they're not going to put, they're not going to put a Metroid on Wii U because it would take 3 years. So when they do get started on one, it's going to be on what was known at the time, the NX, right? So explaining that such a game would take a lot of work on the development side, Tanabe also revealed, this is key, the lack of current Metroid Prime game for Wii U is down to an inability to collect a team or resources to do it. Again, this was last E3. So as of June 2015, Tanabe didn't even have a team or the resources to get started on this game. And have further evidence right here. You can tell by the way he talks, the language he uses, that nothing has actually started. Moving on. There's clearly been some thought towards the direction that a further Metroid Prime release would take, however. Tanabe confirmed that the stories of Dark Samus and Phazon are done, meaning that another story arc would need to be created. He continued to hint that Sylux for Metroid Prime hunters could play a role. Personally, I'd like to create a story centering around Sylux and Samus. So when you say when you're using language like could, possibly, I would like to, you haven't actually started making that yet. You see what I'm saying? And so that in combination with him saying that he doesn't have a team or resources proves that Prime 4 hasn't even been in development for 2 years yet. As of June 2015, Metroid Prime 4 was not even in development. Most likely, it's possible maybe he got a team, during the fall of 2015. I doubt that personally, but most likely they didn't get the team together and all this stuff until 2016, which means that this game has been in development for roughly just 1 year. Just 1 year. So again, let's put this into context. As of 2015, no official plans were really made like that on these games. Well, maybe the 2D one, I'm not sure or whatever, but again, that's coming out literally a year after Federation Force. Too much of a coincidence. But as of 2 years ago, Prime 4 didn't even start development. Right? And so it's 2010. At the time, it was 2015. No Metroid game has been released. They give us some bullcrap Metroid title that was supposed to originally be a DS title that wasn't true to the series in the slightest, outside of the lock-on feature or whatever, right? It gets a huge major backlash. Federation Force comes out in 2016, and then the very next year, just think about the context. I just explained people, and then the very next year we get 2 mainline serious Metroid games announced. You see what I'm saying? No way that didn't happen because of the fan outcry. No way in hell. So again, I'm not, like I said in the last video, I'm not saying we would have never gotten a Metroid if the fans didn't say anything. We most likely would have gotten one, later down the line or whatever. But it wouldn't have happened this soon. And it wouldn't have happened this rapid fire, back to back. Again, we just got 3DS Metroid last year, and they're already giving us another one the very next year. And then we have Prime 4 announced at the same time as the new 3DS one. Fan outcry, 100% fan outcry. So not only was Metroid Prime 4 announced earlier than usual because of the fans, but this game had its development rushed along because of the fans as well. Because Nintendo, and that's not the only article. I remember Reggie said maybe in like 2014, somewhere around there, that they know that Nintendo fans have been asking for a Metroid or whatever and stuff like that, right? But that just goes to show that even the development in this game was hurried along, because as of 2015, nothing was even solidified, right? Nothing was even concrete. Nothing was even physical. They just started developing this game most likely in 2016. Why? Because of us. We got 2 Metroid games because we, the vocal fans, let Nintendo know how much we love this series and how much we want to see this series back. So in conclusion, for those of you guys who, like to say, Shokio, you're always bitching, you're always criticizing, you need to shut up. What do you know about running a company? Although the Wii U was the deadest system we've seen in recent times, and you guys act like the criticisms that I gave that system had nothing to do with it failing, right? You guys swear I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have no idea. I'm just a bitch. I be making stuff up, so on and so forth, right? I'm a Nintendo hater. But guess what? Me and people like me just got you 2 Metroid games. I enjoy. I hope you're happy. You're very welcome. We got you guys those games. So remember, next time I put out a video criticizing Nintendo, saying something the Switch needs to do this, the Switch needs to do that, Nintendo needs to, broaden their audience, so on and so forth. Before you start reaching for your keyboards, just going ham, typing all types of angry obscenities at me, step back, calm down, and think, is this something I would actually want? Is this something that would benefit me? Is this something that would benefit others? That's the main thing you guys got to think about, because you guys always say, well, I don't care about this personally. And so you guys take that mindset and you say that Nintendo doesn't need it, right? Because you don't think about the literal million other people that would want these things, that could want these things, that don't own a Nintendo system because of the lack of these things, right? So next time you're about to give me shit, next time you're going to tell me to shut up, next time you tell me to stop bitching and stop criticizing, just remember, I got you 2 Metroid games. Just remember that. That's it for this video. I will see you dumb motherfuckers later. Peace.